Yo, what's going on, my people? Welcome back to the Lift Capital TED Talk Money, Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're catching this thing. Today's message, I really want to get back to the roots, right? I really want to do something different today. I really hope you guys were catching me over on Facebook. I really dropped a bubble just really on everybody to just say how good I've been feeling about life, how good things have been going. And that's going to be the big reason of what I want to say today, that we're going to be sticking to health, wealth, and wisdom today. I know primarily I talk a lot about finances. Primarily I talk a lot about crypto. But today I want to actually get back into focusing on our three pillars for this channel, three pillars for this movement, and it's health, wealth, and wisdom, because those are things that they stand upon each other, but they're evergreen and everlasting. And that's always been my mission, is to make sure that everybody that's watching this thing, you leave with a blessing, that you can come over to TED Talk Money, you can come over to this channel and you leave with a plate of food. You got fed, you got something when you come over here. So what I want to do, not really hold up too much of your time, but I do want to talk with you guys about what is going on in the world of health, wealth, and wisdom, how, of course, this can apply to your life, and of course, you could do with it what you want. Again, I don't want to hold you up. But sticking with the health part. So right now there is a 3x3 rule that's going on right now, that people are getting 3,000 steps. Okay, they're drinking a third of their water supply, and they're eating about 30 grams of protein by noon. Okay, so this is a pretty big hack, a pretty big health hack, but don't really get stressed out about if your timing on your schedule. You understand what I'm saying? Again, if you haven't been really focused on your health like that, if you haven't really been focused on improving that part of your life, it is important to do. Okay, so I don't really want to stress that too much, but at the same time, I want you guys to really be able to understand how important that is. So it's the 3x3 rule. That's what's going on right now. You know, it's viral and everything. Obviously, everybody is really kicking it in the gym. Everybody's really focusing on what they can do with their lives and with their day. You know what I'm saying? Also, what's going on out there? I know you guys have been seeing those Wegovy commercials, those Ozempic commercials, them GLP-1 drugs, right? And to really share, like when I first started seeing all that stuff coming out, I'm like, man, it's just that easy to lose weight these days. Everybody is just losing weight left and right. But we know that there are certain health issues that certain people have. But the trending thing going on right now, and when I say, when you get in tune with people who are on those drugs and stuff, it works. They'll tell you they don't want to eat and stuff. But what's been going on is GLP-1 drugs, they don't really work for emotional eating. Okay, they don't really work when somebody is mad depressed and they want to eat a whole wedding cake in the morning. Yeah, the GLP-1 drugs don't really work against that. So mental health is a huge factor when it comes down to all that kind of stuff. Again, if you struggle with losing weight and everything like that, I totally understand. I believe those drugs are effective. But when it comes down to, again, depressive eating, emotional eating, impulse eating, probably impulse eating. But again, when it's your mental is involved with it, that's probably not anything that you should really go for with that. Also, folks, there is a link now for smoking and vaping is linked with type 2 diabetes. Okay, so go figure on that. Long story short, you have to understand that a lot of your lifestyle choices are really going to mean a lot more in the long term for you. So of course, in the immediate right now, you might want that smoke, you might want that vape, you might want to just hit these immediate low gratificating choices, but you really need to consider how that's going to be affecting your long-term health. Okay, just keep that in mind. Again, the fact that you're already hearing this, the fact that you even made it this far, you care about your health. So something you might want to consider. And of course, if you have somebody else that might be smoking and vaping and everything, but they don't really eat healthily or they don't really exercise that much, this is something that's going on with that. But not too much on the health. Let's shift gears now to our wealth side. That's to give you a background. You guys know I'm familiar with that, right? I'm always talking with you guys about finance, always talking with you guys about the crypto market. And I'll always get back to that. The crypto market is 24/7, 365, folks. It's global. It's not going anywhere. But your health, your wealth, and your wisdom, that is something that really needs to be focused on. That's something that you can't just let pass by you. Okay? And it's so easy in this time and age for that to happen. So I want to just keep that in mind for you, that wealth is, of course, quite important because, again, you can't really have your wealth without your health. And once you really have your wealth, then we're going to get off into some wisdom. You get me? So, but no, right now, what's going on in the wealth sector for everyone, we're really seeing this big trend, if you will, towards micro retirement. Micro retirement. So you have a lot of, Gen Z, millennials, and everything who want to take periodic breaks earlier in life so that there's more flexibility. So there's more options versus just grinding 24/7, 24/7, 3/7. Just to give you guys an example how I grew up, man. I came from the parenting, man, when I would be at school, after school care, till 6 o'clock. Then my mom would pick me up. We go right back to the office and we'll be there for a couple more hours. You know what I mean? So I know fully that environment and that life of constantly grinding, constantly pushing. And I understand now why so many people might want to think about, hey, mini retirements as they continue to go on. So it's really cool with that. Of course, guys, if find yourself, we have any millennials that are listening, hey, I agree, right? As fast as time is moving these days and how technology is working, it's possible, okay, for you to live a better life, more efficient life than what your parents might have had, because we're in a totally different time and technology is shifting things quickly, okay? So with that being said, what we really talked about when Live Capital was popping up is the great wealth transfer, okay? That is still happening. The great wealth transfer, GWT, GWT, the great wealth transfer. So here in the US, about like $83 trillion is going to exchange hands from generations over the next 20, 25 years. So we're talking about big changes, big responsibilities, but huge opportunities that are going to be coming. All right. So keep that in mind for everybody who is watching. The great wealth transfer here in the US is going to be taking place over the next 20 years, over 2 decades. And think about it, folks, you really want to invest in what's going to be here for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years. You have that scope for how it is that you want to advance in your investments, okay? That's all up to you. None of it's financial advice. But last but not least, folks, wisdom, right? Wisdom. Let's dive into that puppy. So one thing that's big right now is humility and respect are so important right now, because you have so much going on with everybody has their own hustle. Everybody has their own speed. Everybody has their different social media, right? So with that being said, humility, respect are going further than ever before, because what it is, it's building trust. All right. That's what that's doing. It's building trust for people long term. You're creating more character amongst the human collective after you're showing humility and respect for everything. And really, guys, I'm not really just sitting here trying to be politically correct, you know what I mean? But we're talking about moving with wisdom here. You understand what I'm saying? How to navigate better in life, regardless of what other people's walks of lives are. That finding humility and respect throughout that whole thing. Last but not least, though, we're seeing a lot more micro learning. Micro learning is happening a lot more. Micro learning. A lot more people are more emotionally intelligent, right? A lot more emotionally intelligent than they were before. So you have a lot more people that are kind of focused on emotional intelligence versus credentials. They want to actually connect deeper than just perfectly, different things like that. So it's good to see that more and more people are actually becoming more and more emotionally aware, right? So that's really good, folks. Just want to hit you guys with that. I really enjoy talking with you guys about relatable things. I know a lot of people get at me and see me talk about crypto, but it's kind of like, all right, bro, I don't really understand what you're talking about. But it's nice. Sounds interesting. But that's always been our thing, is to touch you guys, touch your health, touch your wealth, touch your wisdom. Continue to connect with us, share this thing out. Of course, if you can, like and subscribe and everything. Share, of course, with everybody who really does need a bit of help in their lives, man. It's getting kooky out there. Crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious, and all like that. So we want everybody to remain blessed and remain in peace. With that being said, I'll holler at you later. Peace.